Good Monday morning to you. I hope you had an awesome weekend. Another testimony that I would like to give to you this morning, letting you know that God is still on the throne, and still today miracles do happen in this time. I've creating these videos for people, try to build your faith, help you to build faith, and some people question, does God still do things in this day and hour, or was it just during the apostles and during the book of Acts and in Bible days? No, God is still real. He said, I'm the same yesterday, today, and forever, and he changes not. And I want to go back to my childhood. I remember my mom was very sickly at times, and she had blood clots very bad and could just barely get around. I mean, she had to move very slow, blood clots all over her, that if she moved too fast, a lot of times blood clots would release and she would just pass out. And but one time in service, Brother Lord moved on him, and he spoke to my mom, and he told her, he said, if you'll obey God, if you'll obey me, I will heal you tonight. And Mom reached for the microphone, and when she reached for the microphone, she said, I felt those blood clots dissolve. And God used her mightily in that service that night, praying with people and miracles, and God healing people and delivering people in that service. And we went home, and we got home that night, and I was probably 9-10 years old, I guess, something of that nature. And I'd seen Mom in this condition for several years, and as a child, it really took a toll, knowing, and people were saying that God can heal, and I'm thinking, God can heal my mom too. And we got home that night, and we started in the house, and it was about 4 or 5 steps up into the house. And Mom got out of the van, and she walked up those steps just like you and I would walk up them today, and walked in the house, and we went to bed that night, and got up the next morning, and Mom had fixed breakfast, and we were there, and in a childlike state, I remembered what I seen last night, the night before, as Mom had walked up those steps, when many times that she would have to take just an ease up those steps, one step at a time, and wait, and ease up the next step and wait. But that night in service, God had healed her, miraculously healed her of those blood clots. And she walked up those steps into the house that night. And that morning, as we ate breakfast, I turned to Mom and said, Mom, could you walk up those steps again? And I remember as she turned and she smiled and she went to the kitchen door, and she walked down those steps and walked back up those steps again, still healed. It wasn't a dream. It wasn't something that I had conjured up in my mind, but God had healed my mom of blood clots that night. And if you're watching this and you've suffered from these things, let me tell you, God is still real, and he does it today. This may have been when I was a kid, but God is still the same today. And if you need him, trust in him and believe in him, and he can move for you. Thanks for watching. If this has been a blessing to you, share it and subscribe to the channel if you'd like. God loves you. We love you. Thank you for watching.